Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this special announcement today. I wanted to address you as the church in regards to questions about when we're going to be able to get back together. Last week, I tuned in to Governor DeSantis's his news conference, press conference about reopening the state, and thank the Lord that we are starting to see things open back up. The question we have, though, is do we fall under a social gathering or do we fall under a business? If we still fall under a social gathering, we can only meet with 10 people at the most. If we open up as a business, as in a restaurant, we're still limited to 25% of the capacity. And so it created some challenges for me in making that decision. So I followed the guidelines of what the Bible tells us. There's safety in the multitude of a counsel. So I've met with our staff and our board, and we discussed this past week options, what it would look like. And at this point, what we have determined, even if at 25%, we could only put up to 30 to 35 people in the sanctuary. So we know that's not really feasible. So we know for the time being, until the governor opens up the state more, we really can't change what we're doing. So day forward, we're going to continue on the path that we're doing with Sunday school online, with church service online, kids and youth online, as well as our young adults. So just know that. As far as future, what we did discuss is what if? What if the governor in 2 weeks opens it up to 50%? Well, now that may change things a little bit for us. And we have been discussing and are continuing to discuss what can we do at that point. And so just be aware of that we're looking and we're planning to open up when we're allowed to, and that the team is working together to determine what that would look like. How would we prepare the sanctuary for multiple services if that's what we do? Or do we just go to, hey, we open up Wednesday for Bible study, youth, and kids, and our small groups. And then we could do 50% capacity. So we are looking to get together as soon as we can. Trust me. Nobody wants to get back together as the body of Christ more than I do. I promise you that, and I'm looking forward to that day. But I still feel that we need to use caution in how we're doing, use wisdom, and not move too quickly, because the last thing we want is for something to happen within our body, and then when everybody else is able to meet 100%, we've got people who are sick in our church, and we have to self-quarantine them. So we're making the best decisions based on the information that we're receiving, and through a committee, we're making these decisions. So what our hopes are, can I tell you what my hopes are? Please don't write this in stone, but if we are able to open up to 50% in 2 weeks, and then in another 2 weeks, where let's say the governor says, hey, things are going well, and we're at 100%, then that means on June the 6th, the first Sunday in June, will be when we can reopen the doors fully and go back to church as what we're used to. So just know that. That's what we're planning for. If it happens before then, God, we're going to be ready. If it doesn't, we're going to be ready for when the governor does open the doors fully. So just know that, church, that we're not dragging our feet. We're very busy working around the church. You're going to be amazed when you get here to see the floors carpeted, the walls painted, and all that's going on. There's some great things that's happening in your church. We just got to be wise, use wisdom, in making the decision when we get back together. So if nothing changes, just know that until we get to 50% capacity, we're going to stay as is, and at that point, we'll communicate to you the decisions of what can be done at that point. Love you, church. Praying for you. Keep your chins up. Stay in the Word, and just trust God. We're going to get through this together, I promise.